It's dark in there. I got the lights on, but I got to pick up harness for Queen. Those are just hame balls. That's where all the weight is pulled from. Actually, horses don't pull, they push. They're pushing up against this lucis, up against this collar, and these are what's hooked to the implement behind, so they're actually pushing. Yeah. Yep. With their chest here, and this is where all the pressure is on them, is right on that breast. Easy, sis. You're okay. She's a little nervous of new things too. Gonna get a little jumpy probably. Blue, get back. Ooh, sis. Easy, Queen. Whoop. Good girl. Easy. That's it. Oop, easy. She gets a little uptight. She had a foot problem a few years back, and I had to give her several shots a day. She didn't like the shots action, so she's been a little hand shy since. Who? Queen, come G. Come G. Come G. Step G. Good girl. Who? G means left. You know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know where it came from. Right is Haw, H-A-W. These are the steering wheel. You don't have those, and you're at the mercy of wherever they want to go. They'll go. I did that wrong. Well, let's do it again. Now you can kind of see why I was confused the first time I did this. And the 900th time, yeah. And the horses will tell you if it's not right. You can watch them and they'll be acting strange or not steering correctly. Queen here, she's about 2,200 pounds, 2,022. I know that's a big swing, but Bud's right around 1,900. When she eats more. Oh, she'll be the first one to tell you, I think. She gets first picking of everything. Talk to a lot of people that say, well, my grandpa used to do this, and I remember back when, and I enjoy that part of the history, you know. There's a lot of people that say it's a whole lot easier to go jump on a tractor, fire it up, and get this little job done in 15 minutes. But they don't get the sounds and the sights and the smells that I do. And the only thing it costs me to raise these horses is, you know, some of their veterinarian supplies and the corn seed, because they cut all their own hay. We didn't have to buy any hay last year. And I had 5 horses most of the year. So they're basically a free hobby. The only thing you have to invest is some time. And I've probably learned a heck of a lot more from doing things this way than I would have by jumping into a tractor and firing up the key, you know. Besides what it does for the environment, and my kids are growing up learning how to do this, you know. the right-hand horse, when I plow, see how it makes a flat spot? Wherever this plow goes, it cuts a flat trough. That's where the right-hand horse is supposed to walk, a flat trough. And then the other horse has to walk up on the ground that hasn't been plowed yet. So it's a little awkward for him being off kilter a little bit. And she's working harder than he is because she's trying to keep him in line where he's supposed to go. But he's good, he's having a good attitude and he's learning. Disc it and then I'll harrow it. Smooths it out, combs it out a little bit, kind of levels it off. I'll mark out one row and then the horse will walk right beside that string that I put out, and then it'll leave me a mark for when I turn around how far apart to keep the rows. This is a single horse corn seeder, and I bought it from a guy not too far from here, and I got on the internet. He was just a collector. He didn't have horses or anything like that, but I learned a little bit about it off of the internet, and the age range is somewhere in the 1898 year time frame, and it's pretty simple design. They actually use designs similar to this for people that are just want to push a corn seeder and plant it as well. Every time the wheel goes around one turn, it drops 3 seeds down into the bottom of this plow, and then the back wheel covers them up and packs them. So it actually works pretty good. It was a pretty good find. I'd used one from another gentleman that had smaller horses, and it really worked good. And then the very next summer, I happened to stumble upon it over at an auction. A buddy called me and said that there was one over there, so I went over and took a look and was able to get that. I'm gonna guess it's just under a ½ acre. And I think this year we're just gonna do all sweet corn. We're gonna do, it's a luscious corn is the variety, a luscious F1, and it's all organic, GMO free corn. It's the first year that I'm gonna do that. I've never put chemical out on there on the place, but I've always used just regular seed, so I'm kind of interested to see how things are gonna go with the organic seed. The horses did a little fertilizing for me today out there, so, and no charge. This little guy here is the disc, which will be the next thing that we'll do on the cornfield. We just pull it around, and you can adjust the angle of the discs on the side to more severely or less severely chop up the sod on top. The more severely you turn it in, the harder it is for the horses to pull, so they have to work a little harder. But as it starts getting broke down and the sod starts getting busted up a little bit, you can start relaxing it, and then you're just kind of combing it out, trying to smooth out the high spots. It is a huge blessing. I've got really black, rich garden dirt with a little bit of sand mixed into it for about 18-24 inches in spots, and then it just goes to pure sand, which is actually kind of a good thing for me because I can water it all I want to. And you know, the good dirt's going to suspend some of the water, and then it allows it to drain right out the bottom, so I don't have to really worry about rot and stuff. But the little bit of sand that is mixed in the black dirt really helps hold the temperature up, so it really kind of speeds things up a little bit as far as the germination process. It also helps the weeds germinate really fast, but I guess if it was weed free it wouldn't be as fun. Manually. Well, I'm going to try this year for the first time. I have done a lot of, and my kids will tell you, that it's a lot of hands and knees type stuff. I've done a little bit more research on the no-till option for keeping weeds out, or not keeping them out, but really they say that after the weeds get to be 6 to 8 inches tall, they don't take as much nutrients away from the plants as a new germinating weed does. So I don't know, that might be a lazy man's way of saying I don't feel like pulling weeds. I don't really know. This is going to be mediocre at best probably, because you can't get in between any of the plants. But after the corn gets knee high, you don't really worry about much of it anyways. But it's, you know, that's where I dump all my leaves in the fall. So it's pretty good stuff. A lot of the horse manure is dumped out there, but it's good dirt. You could grow just about anything you wanted to in it, I suppose.
When they bite into corn?
Yeah, you know, they know that there wasn't anything put in there that God didn't intend for it to be in there. It's just the way that God intended it to be. My brother milks cows and has raw milk. We try to live as simple as we can that way. There's a lot of ways that's easier living, and we don't necessarily look for the easiest way. We try to look for the best way and hope that as we're bringing our kids up, they learn the best way and not always the easiest way also. A lot of people do things easy, and a lot of people will avoid the hard way if there's an easier way, but that doesn't always mean it's a better way.
Back. Back, bud. Come back. Back. Good. Good girl, bud. Rest break. Well, you can see how it's starting to smooth out a little.
Easy now. At least 5 days a week, if not 6, I work for a lawn and tree maintenance company over in the Coeur d'Alene area. It's about 52 miles from here, and I put in about a 65-hour work week just so that I can come home and do this kind of stuff. And you know, my family's probably the most important thing to me. And it's funny watching the little boys grow up, which ones do have an interest for this type of hobby, and which ones would rather be on the computer, you know. But the lawn and tree care industry that I work in has taught me a lot about what I want to do at my own place. You get a lot of ideas from a lot of different customers, and I get to pick the ones that I like and bring them here, and it's pretty interesting, really, the people that I talk to and tell them that I do this kind of work at home, how many people are very interested in it. And you really can't go anywhere around here to find this kind of hobby. You know, people, a lot of times when I'm doing this, you'll see 2 or 3 cars parked along the side of the road, watching what's going on. People will come in and ask, you know, what are you doing? Do you mind if I watch, kind of thing. And that's kind of neat and exciting that, you know, this is actually a fairly busy road, which is good for training the horses on. And at the same time, it lets a lot of people see kind of what we're trying to do here. So it's really, we're going to start doing a few weddings for people. We've been commissioned to do actually quite a few rides and whatnot, and this is, I guess, some kind of a way of advertising, is just doing it out here by the busy road. That's not why I picked this spot. Kind of one of the benefits. These were really, really, really big horses for the old days. They'd use saddle-size horses most of the time. So, you know, I have some old collars in there from old buggy horses that are only about yay big. And she wears a 28-inch collar on her now. So they would use a lot more horses. Each one of these would have to have probably 2 saddle-size horses to keep up with what they're doing. That's why the stagecoach used 6 horses, because they were all small size. And they're faster, more maneuverable, you know. These horses are just gentle and usually pretty slow-paced. I like to keep them that way as much as I can. It's good conditioning for them. They're working hard. Because when we start mowing hay, we'll mow hay for 8 or 9 hours at a time, so they'll be buttered up. Yeah, I love being outside.